You know that one coworker? The one who somehow does nothing all day, yet still gets praised? Yeah, mine almost ruined my career. For 6 months, he dumped his work on me, stole credit, and smiled while I drowned in deadlines. So one day, I stopped helping. And instead, I let him fail spectacularly. If you've ever been underestimated at work, ignored by management, or forced to carry someone else's responsibilities while they take the spotlight, you're going to love this story. Hit like, subscribe, and settle in, because today's story is pure workplace karma. Every office has a Seth. You might not call him Seth, but you know him. The guy who walks in late holding coffee like he just survived a war instead of traffic. The guy who sighs dramatically after sending one email. The guy somehow always busy, yet never actually working. Seth mastered the art of appearing productive. Headphones on, Excel open, serious face. Meanwhile, his phone screen reflected endless scrolling. And the worst part? Management loved him. When I first joined the department, I thought Seth was just friendly. He'd lean over my desk with a casual smile. Hey, could you help me real quick? Simple request. Small task. No problem. Except real quick became hours, then days, then entire projects. He'd forward emails saying, "You're better at this than me." At first it felt flattering, until meetings started happening. Our boss would praise Seth. Excellent report. And I'd sit there quietly, recognizing every single word because I wrote it. My stomach would tighten. I told myself, maybe next time he'll give credit. He never did.
Seth had a system. He'd disappear every morning. Bathroom breaks every 10 minutes, coffee runs, 2-hour lunches. Meanwhile, my workload doubled. Deadlines stacked like falling dominoes. I remember one evening staring at my monitor long after everyone left. The office lights dimmed automatically around me. My shoulders ached, my eyes burned, and Seth, already home, probably telling people how exhausting his day was. I complained to my boss, carefully, professionally. "I'm helping Seth a lot with projects." My boss nodded. "I appreciate teamwork." Teamwork. That word hit differently when only one person was working. Somehow Seth always had excuses ready. "Oh yeah, we collaborated. We split responsibilities." He said it so confidently, people believed him. I started doubting myself. Was I overreacting? Was this just office culture? Then came the report. A major client project. Important, high visibility, high pressure. 2 days before the deadline, Seth walked over casually and dropped a folder on my desk. No warning, no apology, just, "Hey man, I'm slammed. Can you finish organizing this?" I opened it. My heart sank. Messy spreadsheets, raw data everywhere, no structure. This wasn't help. This was his entire job. He was handing me responsibility for something critical while planning to take the credit again. Something inside me finally snapped. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just a quiet realization. If I keep saving him, he'll never stop. Later that day, I asked him casually, "Hey Seth, are you good with Excel?" He laughed. "Nah, man, that stuff confuses me." I nodded slowly. Inside my head, a plan formed. For 6 months, I had protected him from consequences. Maybe the real problem wasn't Seth. Maybe it was me, fixing everything. So this time, I would help. Just not the way he expected. When Seth sent over the spreadsheets, I agreed immediately. No problem. He smiled, relieved. Because to him, I wasn't a coworker. I was insurance. That night, I stayed late again. But this time, something felt different. Calm. Focused. I organized the data perfectly. Clean layouts, professional formatting. And then, I added hidden formulas. Nothing obvious, nothing malicious. Just small, embedded calculations buried inside hidden cells. Tiny triggers. If someone understood Excel, they'd notice instantly. If they didn't, the numbers would quietly fall apart. Copy, paste, chaos. I leaned back in my chair when I finished. Technically, I had completed exactly what he asked. I just stopped protecting him from his own incompetence.
The morning of the deadline, Seth arrived late, as usual. Coffee in hand, relaxed, confident. He didn't even check the files, just assumed everything was handled. Because it always was. Hours later, the client meeting happened. And then the call came. Loud enough that half the office heard it. The client was furious. Numbers didn't match. Totals made no sense. Financial projections looked completely wrong. I watched Seth's face drain of color. He opened the spreadsheet, started clicking frantically. Every fix broke something else. Sweat formed on his forehead. He copied data. It scrambled. He recalculated. New errors appeared. Panic spread across his face like wildfire. For the first time, Seth actually looked like someone who had to do his own job.
He rushed over to my desk, voice tight. "Hey, something's wrong with the files." I looked up calmly. "Oh, really?" "I think there's a glitch." I checked briefly, acted confused. Weird. Maybe Excel bugged out? I gave vague suggestions. Nothing wrong, nothing helpful, just enough to keep him trying. He spent the entire day spiraling, clicking, undoing, redoing. The office watched silently. Because everyone knew. Everyone had seen him dump work for months. And now, nobody stepped in. By afternoon, our boss was called into the situation. The client escalation reached management. And suddenly, Seth couldn't charm his way out. No teamwork excuse, no shared responsibility. The files were his. The project was his. The failure was his. Our boss's voice carried through the office, sharp, angry, disappointed. I'd never seen Seth speechless before. He tried explaining, stumbled over words, blamed software, blamed timing. But there was one thing he couldn't say anymore, that someone else had done the work. Because this time, no one saved him.
Later that week, the announcement came. Seth was placed on temporary leave without pay. The office reaction was quiet. No celebration. Just relief. Work suddenly felt lighter. Meetings ran smoother. Projects moved faster. For the first time since I started, I left work on time. And the strangest part? I didn't feel guilty. I hadn't sabotaged him. I hadn't lied. I simply stopped carrying someone who refused to walk. Justice didn't come from revenge. It came from consequences finally catching up.
Some people don't learn because they're protected from failure. And sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't attacking someone. It's stepping back and letting reality do the work. The moment I stopped fixing Seth's mistakes, karma clocked in right on schedule. If this story felt satisfying, hit that like button and tell me in the comments, have you ever worked with a Seth? And what's the most unbelievable workplace karma you've witnessed? Subscribe for more intense revenge stories, because sometimes justice doesn't shout. It quietly waits for the right moment, and then it hits perfectly.